The Safer Hartlepool Partnership aims to make Hartlepool a safer place to live, work and visit. The partnership meets on a regular basis to ensure that local community safety priorities are being addressed to protect the public and improve the quality of life of Hartlepool residents. The people of Hartlepool told the partnership that the main priority during 2013-14 should be to work towards creating confident, cohesive and safe communities. Good community involvement has therefore been at the heart of the partnership's activities over the last year, whether this has been working harder to engage victims of crime and antisocial behaviour, working with young people to keep them safe and well, helping families to become a stronger family unit, or working with minority groups.
Kept getting woken up at night by shouting, whistling, just kept getting woken up all the time. And the language was really bad. And also it was during the day, so my grandchildren were going to school, seeing people high. After a few weeks of sleepless nights, as the people came whistling and shouting and falling in the road on the night, we phoned the police. And they did move them on. They used to hide in doorways as well, and because I think they were dealing drugs. Well, they were. We heard the people shouting up, can I have a tenner bag? Can I have a fiver bag? Where do I put the money? Shall I put it through the letterbox? My neighbour had approached me, she'd had enough. She said, the children are hearing terrible things and would I help her? Would I come with her to the antisocial behaviour people?
First of all, I went out and made sure their homes were secure, fitted things like window alarms, letterbox locks, just make sure they were safe, give them personal alarms. And then we discussed about the emotional side of what was happening. You know, this impacts on people's lives huge. It can affect your whole day-to-day routines, every work and minute can be affected by it. There was Nick Stone from the Antisocial Behaviour Unit and Jean Shanava liaised very closely with Tracy and Darina. And we also linked in with the police. The PCSOs were excellent. They would call in, check they were okay, check what things were, how things were going.
Yeah, they came and chatted to us and said that we would get protection. We would be took to the courtrooms. The girl wouldn't be able to abuse us in the street or anything, or she'd be arrested.
It's like building a jigsaw, and we all had our little bits that we all need to come together to build the full picture, because no one person can do it on their own. It's got to be the multi-agency approach to get on top of these problems. The antisocial behaviour order was served, and within weeks it was breached by the person causing harassment, alarm, distress. She verbally shouted at Tracy and there was verbal abuse and threats made. The police were then very quick at getting a statement, going and arresting her, and she was took to court and eventually got a prison sentence as a result of that.
Between April and August 2014, the partnership's dedicated victims service has given face-to-face support to 225 victims of crime and carried out over 270 home visits to provide emotional support, crime prevention advice, support for people attending court and those who have suffered from criminal injuries. Between April and August 2014, the Bellevue Targeted Youth Outreach Project has supported 883 young people in Hartlepool, helping and encouraging them to take up positive, rewarding and educational activities.
It's about 7 till about 9, and you just do loads of activities and sports, and then it keeps you off the streets.
And you get some of just the ones that we've been engaging with, some of just they need something to keep them occupied, somewhere to go. Local youth clubs, something they buy, some activities, because there's a lack of in Hartlepool at the minute. So we gather together all the information, we try to direct them and signpost them into positive activities. And then we've got the other end of the scale where we'll have young youths drinking and hotspots, and so we'll go to the hotspots and we take care of, we'll advise, we'll ask them if they want to pop along and see us, and then we'll engage them into the youth clubs where we've got a base.
Yeah, so when I started coming to the office, like, I was 19 at first, but then I've sorted myself out now. Since I've started coming in, that's all sorted me out the youth.
But the bulk of the work we do is mainly diverting into positive activities when and where we can, and just generally being a friend to them on the street.
The LIFE programme helps to build stronger families by providing opportunities for family members to work together as a team in a fun way. The programme is delivered by the Cleveland Fire Brigade, which provides a week-long course aimed at developing leadership, team working, problem-solving skills, building self-esteem and a sense of citizenship.
I didn't realise how fast a fire could erupt into a blaze, like a burning building. I have massive respect for the fire services now. They try to put fire safety into homes so it doesn't happen.
A lot of it was about pushing yourself as well, because, well, for me personally it was, because, like I say, most of the things I'd done, it wasn't what I normally come across in my day-to-day life anyway. But every day I went home and I was on a high. It was like a really good feeling, and I woke up the next day really wanting to go back. It wasn't like I had to force myself to get up to go back. I was ready, waiting for the minibus to go back.
My name's Gary Jones, Neighbourhood Coordinator for Hartlepool Borough Council. The coordinator for the Neighbourhood Action Days throughout the wards of Hartlepool. It's a day of action, enforcement action with all the multi-agencies involved on the day. We generally have an audit prior to the event with the police, fire brigade, our enforcement people, PCSOs and ward members, and ideally we like to have members of the public come along, just have a walk around the designated area. Some of the actions identified, they're not always big, there's just smaller issues, obviously. Areas of footpaths, what needs cleaning, of overgrown weeds, litter, general things what affect the living environment of people actually live on the estates. We had the environmental teams out litter picking the wider areas and cutting back shrubs and bushes where people might hide behind. And again, that just helps the overall area. And this is on top of, obviously, had the police, PCSOs and our enforcement patrolling, issuing fixed penalty notices for dog fouling, litter awareness and things like that. The fire brigade, they'd done a leaflet job of over 200 properties, residential properties in the area, and they had over 40 referrals, so the fire brigade could go back and do home fire safety checks, which is good, and obviously overall it reduces the fire figures in the area.
Over the last 6 months, the Council's neighbourhood development officers have supported 115 groups across the town. The team provides a vital link between community groups and key organisations, such as the Council and police, to ensure their needs are addressed. Extensive work is being done with a number of groups, including the Refugee and Asylum Seeker Group, the Salam Centre and Hart Gables.
The main thing that we do, we provide advice to asylum seekers and refugees who live here in Hartlepool through our advice worker that we've got. They might come here and they might need to have to access things like, education for their kids, and our advice worker is the one who channels them where to go and what to do. It's all about building confidence for the people who come here in Hartlepool, So that's where we've got the agencies that we work with, especially with the help of the Neighbourhood Development Officer, which is Irene. We've got Peter from HVDA, and a lot of volunteers that we've got who work with us. So it makes it easier and safer for the people that, I work with, and also the people within the community.
The Safer Hartlepool Partnership is immensely proud of its achievements over the last year. By continuing to work together with residents and businesses, we can make Hartlepool an even safer place to to live, work and visit.